a certain white guy with a certain point of view. Oh God, I had to. Woo! Welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm Alex R. Wagner, and welcome to episode 103 of No News is News. Now, this is the show where we watch the news and we talk about the news, and the news isn't the news anymore because you can just see the news, so you don't need to watch the news because no news is news. This is No News is News. I do have to double check that my audio and video is working correctly because I am a one-man band here. And with that said, again, I want to reiterate, especially on YouTube, but Rumble as well, across the board, why not? Send in your chats because I read all chats live. This is a show that only has currently 10 people watching it. So make sure to send in your chats live so that we can discuss the name of the game, which is Louie versus Shane Gillis. What? You guys ready for this? Are you ready to understand what is happening in the world right now? So with that said, Louie C.K. is going to Saudi Arabia as part of the Saudi Arabia festival. Shane Gillis, one of like 3 or 4 comedians that have like a bit or something, that's the only person that's really getting flack is Pete Davidson. Philip DeFranco pointed out, which is, I guess he's one of the dogs now, because he pointed out, like, he was upset and he was like, well, I'm not his dad, but I'm kind of upset at Bill Burr because it's like hypocritical, because like billionaires should use their money and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Shane Gillis, I think, just had enough money and didn't want to do it because he was like, Saudis, let's not do this. It's really interesting, though, when you think, like, if you're a Shane Gillis, Louie C.K. head, like I am, Louie C.K. on the fucking wall right here. Touch Louie C.K. before I say negative things about Louie C.K. But if you're a Shane Gillis, Louie C.K. head like I am, then you understand that there is this viral bit from, I believe, a secret podcast, a Patreon only version of the secret pod. Or no, it was the regular pod, the regular secret pod with Louie C.K. talking about going to the Patreon, in which they're doing ad reads and Louie C.K. says, don't you have the Patreon? Wait, so you have the Patreon and you're doing ad reads? Do you really need all this money? And Shane Gillis looks at Gardini, and they're both sitting in the seats, and Shane is like probably 33 or 34 years old at this point, and you can tell that Louis C.K. is his idol, and he just looks at him and he goes, man, he's fucked that up. He thinks we're a sellout now. Shane Gillis, like, that's a core moment of Shane Gillis and his life, was being traumatized by Louis C.K., thinking, oh no, I look like I sold out in front of Louis C.K., and now here we are, Louie C.K. at the Saudi Arabia fucking comedy festival. It's the one that nobody will point out on the left or in the mainstream media because they're the people that cancel Louie C.K. They don't like Louie C.K. They're kind of against Louie C.K. But it's the one that's really interesting to me because he's like the most left-leaning. He's the most leftist cancel culture person there probably is. It's like him and Joe Rogan. But I would even say that Louie is definitely way more left than Joe Rogan. Send it in on the chat whether you think that, you know, Louie is either more or less left than Joe Rogan. And I understand these people are just comedians and that we shouldn't paint them with political portraits and stuff. But they're going to Saudi Arabia. They're going to Saudi Arabia to do a comedy festival. Like, it doesn't get more like I sold out political than that. The one nation that will pay you whatever, and you know that it's the devil's money. You know it's the devil's money. And yet you still go for it. You still eat it up. And you know what? Good on Tim Dillon. I loved what Tim Dillon did. He took the money. He said, I'll take it for $500,000. They wouldn't take it. They gave it to him for $350,000. He says, yes, I'm going for it. And he pressed it the whole time, which is exactly what I would do. suppress your free speech as an American against their money, their stupid oil, Saudi, Muslim money. Okay? Because they're the people that sawed up a journalist and put him in a bag. And I know it's Mark Maron that's on like this tour, even though he was never invited. Who would ever want to hang out with Joe Rogan or Mark Maron? It's like trying to or like Quentin Tarantino. Like, these people are idols and they talk a lot, but we don't want them in public with you. So they don't get invited to these things. So when Mark Maron starts spewing his nonsense, making all these articles, but the articles for the left, for the mainstream media, don't work with Mark Maron's face on them. So they put Shane Gillis, the guy that they canceled. They put Shane Gillis's face, just like on this thumbnail of this fucking episode. They put Shane Gillis's face on their mainstream media clickbait ads about how it's bad that they're doing this Saudi thing, as though Shane made some political activist statement. The dude stayed out of Jimmy Kimmel, and he shouldn't have. You fucked him. Like, it's like he's the Nick Fuentes of comedy. He's always going to be around. He's always going to get bigger numbers than you. You got to just sit here and eat it every time he's around. But at the same time, oh, God. It reminds me of every inner circle I was ever in when I lived in New York. It's just like, they like my success or who I am or what I can bring to the table or the beer that I brought to the event, not necessarily me. And I think that is a real thing. Wow. We are up to 20 people on YouTube. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, no chats, though. No conversations. Throw it away. How do you guys feel? Are you on Louis C.K.'s side? Sell out? Go Saudi Arabia? Are you on, Shane Gillis's side? Do you understand that Shane Gillis is trying to be apolitical and that he never really was involved, but that Mark Maron said some statement, so all of the liberal media had to write up an article, but that Mark Maron's face, just like this YouTube video, doesn't get people to click on it? Shane Gillis's face does. Now you're with me. Now you're here. This is reality. This is media, people. This is how they dupe you. This is what this show, No News is News, is all about. I was somebody that worked in media. I worked on the biggest films in Hollywood, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. I fucking worked as Kevin James' assistant. Andy Fickman, the guy that did She's the Man. I've been around the block on the liberal media side. I actually was a production secretary for the writer's room for Showtime's Jesus and Mero, which was the Vice show turned Showtime black late night show competition thing. They were trying to be a new late night show when nobody wanted a new late night show. So obviously it got canceled. Apparently it didn't get canceled though. It was that one of the two of them got in a fight with each other and then said they didn't want to do it or whatever. The whole show was bullshit. It was just the woke version of the Daily Show, and I was at it and it was awful and it felt awful. But back on track here at No News is News, we talk about one thing, and that's the things that are going on in media. And more importantly than this Riyadh, fucking Saudi Arabia sand festival that has already been going on, but Mark Maron said something, so it would plaster Shane Gillis' face all over stuff and make him fight everybody. You can literally now put Shane Gillis versus any other comedian on a fucking article, and boom, there you go. There's your clicks, people. That's what you do. And Mark Maron started it by making the little fucking debate being, I would never go. You didn't get invited. Shane Gillis did get invited though. And so we'll put his face on there, even though we canceled him 2 years ago. It's okay. But anyway, the bigger thing, one battle at a time, this new Leo movie. Look, the title of the movie itself is bad. Okay. You're already not getting very many people to pay attention. A lot of us have at least seen the ad, at least the white people, of Leo banging a phone and slamming it. I saw some little interview that Sean Penn did where he was trying to do some like kumbaya thing with the New York Times in an interview where he was like, I think everybody should be able to speak their political ideologies. And I learned a lot and I unify with what Charlie Kirk said. And I stand against that kind of violence and blah, blah, blah. Because he's doing this political fucking movie or whatever. I haven't seen the film. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson film, so it can't be the greatest movie. Probably won't be the worst movie either. Probably will end like The Master ended with like no real results, which is, you know, the point, I guess. $135 million Warner Brothers threw at this fucking thing, man. Big time money for this indie director for the first time ever. Big time fucking people. Leo, front page on every theater in America coming into the fall. This is the hype season. This is the movie, y'all. This is the one you came to see. No one showed up. Well, I should say people did show up. People showed up more than expected in New York and in LA. But people in third-tier markets like Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, and other places like the industry uses as planters for releasing their films to see, like test audiences, test audience grades, all that stuff, etc. These places, it well underperformed. And I have a huge theory as to why, and I think that it is that we are in the great American divorce right now. Not only are we pinning up Louie C.K. selling out to Saudi Arabia up against Shane Gillis, who probably didn't sell out to Saudi Arabia because he felt bad after selling out for some ads on his podcast with Louie C.K. there. And then you get all the way down to it, and here we are now at this new one, which is, this is not a political movie, and it actually is probably a movie with Leo in it where we all want to watch it. The problem is now, is after the Emmys and the way that the entire media apparatus reacted to Charlie Kirk in comparison to the internet and every content creator had to say something. If you were on the professional side of content creation and you were posting content creation during that time, you kind of looked off. I saw people that were doing it. I saw friends of mine that were posting their comedy during that period like it wasn't a 9/11 style event. And it was odd because we all got to see his neck explode. So we all had to mourn together, and we were all making comments about it. And a lot of people were selling those comments and those theories, and Candace Owens and fucking Nick Fuentes and all of this stirred up stuff. But at the same time, as all of that, Dean Withers, another one, I want to shout him out. He was a moral compass for the left on that one. But what happened there is that everyone was talking about something while the entire mainstream media was refusing to talk about something. And even the content creators that had been pulled over to CAA, to the agencies, to the LA side of things, to the Valley side of things, they also didn't comment on this. Because saying something, if you noticed on social media, if you had a following, and you said something, as I'm saying even right now, going from fucking 18 to 8 people, because you divide by talking about something that was a national tragedy. It was a national tragedy, whether you like it or not. Ilhan Omar is fucking crazy. She's going to go down in history as being crazy. You got to stay with a moral compass right now, especially when you have to talk about everything for a living. If you're here having conversations in the media apparatus, either as a content creator or in the mainstream media in some way, even going to your desk job and having desk conversations at work or whatever, every part of this matters. And what matters now is that you have a moral compass. That you don't say if, ands, or buts, that you realize what is real and what is not, that you don't play wrestling with this whole thing. You don't, you know what I mean? Like that you realize this was a podcaster that busted his ass. He made a whole fucking living for himself. He was voicing his opinion. A crazy person shot him down, etc., etc. If you go any other route than that, if you go the Ilhan Omar route, oh no, we cannot have a legacy for him because I'm against what he is, then you're not playing wrestling anymore. You don't understand politics is wrestling. You're nonsense. You are out of the club. We are in a reality club here. That is where we are on No News is News. We are living in a fucking reality club, all right, guys? Dogs and non-dogs alike, we are living in a fucking reality. And in reality, that was a national tragedy. And what happened is the Emmys was the big reveal. Because the Emmys is one of these conditions where the media is in control of the cameras, of the room, of the dialogue, of who wins, who gets to speak. But when you stand on that stage, you as a content creator, as a apparatus, as a spokesman, get to say your little thing. And the night was filled with activism and propaganda. But the night was one thing that was absent was any mentioning of that event whatsoever. Any mentioning of unification, of any of it. Nobody wanted to say it. They were scared that they would be burned too. The same way that we all saw it happen on Oscar night when Will Smith walked on stage, literally smacked someone on stage, and every last motherfucker that was in that room that was like, abuse, 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 sat there, did nothing, let that man go back on stage, let him win an award, didn't arrest him, didn't do anything. Like, this is the same people. And now for a death, for an actual moral thing. Like, it's not a slap anymore. It's a death. And it's illustrated. And it's real. And so when you see that the entire apparatus, the entire industry feels the need to speak about ICE still on multiple occasions on the night, but that no one in the entire industry, and this is the industry that I love, that I'm actually a part of, we all are, anybody that is making content, we are still part of this industry in a way. And the thing with it is that you isolated your trust. Now any studio, anybody that was there that night, anybody that was a part of the week and a half of, shh, you're one of my clients, stay quiet. The staying quiet now leaves this about it. And then we saw you immediately, almost every single person that was silent, immediately vocalize in something that is in conjunction to. Because Jimmy Kimmel is in conjunction to Charlie Kirk. Failed to mention anything about Charlie Kirk or his memorial or his remembrance or anything of that nature, while simultaneously speaking and advocating for Jimmy Kimmel. Now we've crossed a line that we can't really come back from. And this comes back to the theory of why that movie, while it made $22 million at the box office, while every headline is Paul Thomas Anderson's most successful film, it still is a burner. It still made the same amount as Mickey 17. It's still not gonna get where it needs to get to make its money back. It's not what people thought it was gonna do. It was supposed to be this political satire thrown in the spawn of this revolutionary era, and we're all gonna go see Leo and watch this film. No. Because everyone in America experienced a national tragedy, and everyone that was a part of the mainstream media apparatus, everybody that was a part of film and entertainment, already had a live night where they could publicly do advocacy, and no one felt the need for unification. And the only time I've even heard anyone that is sort of left in Hollywood say anything about unification is Sean Penn, and he's selling this fucking movie. So I really think that why you're seeing a lower turnout in Dallas and in Houston and in Atlanta and in these third tier markets, these test markets, the heart of America for movies, the reason they're not showing up and you're seeing more people show up in New York and LA is because more people would have shown up for this movie. Had Charlie Kirk not died, had people not advocated for Kimmel and not spoken about Charlie Kirk, had people not been seen as fake, like inherently, in regards to this issue. Because right now, everyone seems very inauthentic, because they stayed silent. Then they spoke out. I mean, even the PGA, even the DGA, they spoke out. They advocated for this. You know, free speech, free speech. He gets back on the air. We're all back to normal. But they're silent on the national tragedy that we all, as Americans, experienced together. It's crazy. It's crazy. But we are living in a world where Shane Gillis and Louie C.K. are on different sides. Where you can put his face on the fucking head of your fucking article and say, here's your face for advocacy for the left, for defending America against Saudi Arabia. It's Shane Gillis, because Mark Maron is a dork and wasn't really even invited, so we're not going to talk about him, even though he's the only one saying anything. Pete Davidson, good luck. I mean, you got some wokies, man. You got some wokey audiences. You fuck Kim Kardashian, that's what happens, man. You get woked. You woked. Like, can't believe you, 9/11, da-da-da-da-da. But why are we not bringing up Louie C.K.? I don't know. Most canceled comedian in America, richest man ever, literally stood there with Shane Gillis and was like, why are you doing ad reads? You don't need ad reads. You don't need this money. Why are you selling out? Core memory for Shane Gillis. Offered millions of dollars to go to Saudi Arabia, and he's like, no, I remember what Louie said. We don't sell out. Like, oh, well, Louie sold out, though. Louie! Louie sold out, though. Sorry. I know he's the one that taught you not to sell out, which is why you did this, but he sold out, so that's how it works, man. With that said, let's get to the rest of the news for the night. Our main story of the night is the government shutdown now certain as the White House talks collapse. Oh, wow. Who could have predicted that one? With the deadline just over 24 hours away, final negotiations at the White House have failed, and the congressional leaders have confirmed there is no path forward to avoid a government shutdown. Federal agencies have begun implementing orderly shutdown procedures, with President Trump holding firm on his threat to fire rather than furlough federal workers who are deemed non-essential. You're fired. Everybody's fired. You guys think they're going to really do it? I've been saying this all weekend. I am so excited, so ready for the government shutdown. It's like better than a snow day. Like, shut it all down. Continue to shut down more of it. And then when people are like, after week 2 or 3, you always get that news media article that's like, did you know that 33% of Americans are part of the government? And I'm like, yeah, fire them. Fire them all. I'm not part of the government. Bye. 66% of us aren't. See ya. That's what I got to say to that. Oh, I saw that. 15 people go down to 9. Yep, right there. That was the military. See you later. Oh, man. What a time. What a time to be alive. We're going to get the government shutdown of all government shutdowns. Okay, guys, this one was for real. Like, everyone that was involved when they did the interview afterwards was pretty much like, you know what we're doing, right? You know what we're doing, right? The Democrats' excuse for this one is pretty bad because they got that clean, like, the Republicans got a real easy one on this one. They're like, we got the clean CR. We're just waiting for it. It's right here, 7 weeks. And the Democrats are always like, okay, well, we get canceled if we do that. So we're going to talk about healthcare. We're going to talk about healthcare because if we don't, we're going to get super canceled. So sorry, we're gonna have to shut down the government, but we're gonna act like we're not really doing it on purpose. It's your fault because of healthcare. Because if I don't shut down the government, they're gonna cancel me. Because that's what happened last time. Chuck Schumer got canceled for doing a CR. They were like, "Oh, what? You just wanted a paycheck? You just went against your ranks and you just voted with the Republicans?" Like, yeah, because this is what we're gonna do anyway. Instead, this time they're like, "Cut it. We all won't get paid for 7 weeks. while we negotiate. Because the CR was only 7 weeks long, guys. So if you're a little dork like me on this whole fucking government shutdown thing, you understand it's a game of wrestling where they're creating some fucking nonsense where they're literally going to be like, for the next 7 weeks, have the government shut down and do the entire job that they were going to already do, except they're going to do it while the government shut down because Chuck Schumer is scared he might get canceled. So that's the government shutdown. Government is most definitely shutting down. So tomorrow night, maybe we do a midnight episode, do a little happy shutdown episode. When does the government officially shut down? What are the first things they shut down? As I was saying before, nothing really shuts down when the government shuts down. Like, well, this government shut down. Oh, wow, really? What happens then? Nothing. Everyone still goes to work. Government shut down. The government is shut down. So now everyone does the same thing. All right. Anyway, that's the repeat on the government shutdown. We'll do all of our government shutdown fucking jokes tomorrow night on government shutdown night. Fucking dumb. I hate the government shutdown. It's such a wrestling move. They're literally going to shut down the government for 7 weeks. And Donald Trump knows it, so he's going to try to fire as many people as he can. But it might be illegal for him to fire anybody during it. So it's like, it's all fucking nonsense. Second story of the day, which was also our lead-in story of the day, which is Hollywood's one battle after another box office disaster analyst. The film industry is reeling from the catastrophic opening weekend of blockbuster one battle after another. The numbers confirm a massive cultural divide, with the film met expectations in coastal markets like New York and LA, and is unprecedented flop in the heartland cities like Dallas, Houston, and Atlanta. The financial failure is now the leading topic of discussion about Hollywood's disconnect from the huge portions of its potential audience. We already went through all that. Story 3. Trump and Netanyahu hold White House press conference on the the Middle East. Oh, so if you saw the lead-in, which is the lead-in program, I just do my rundown lead-in, so you guys can watch it. It's lagging like a mofo. I know that. Send me some fucking super chats. Send me some money if you want a non-lagging pre-show. But otherwise, it's going to lag for a little bit because I need to upgrade this computer and other things so that can happen and it won't lag while I'm playing it on a web browser. But with that said, and also, other thing about the pre-show, anytime I play anything copyrighted from 60 Minutes, like 60 Minutes is like the biggest like pussy about third-party content. Like they fucking claim anything. 60 Minutes claims like literally anything, and then they'll like ban you. I literally got medical misinformation strikes from fucking actual 60 Minutes interviews that I posted clips of. Everything about 60 Minutes is fucking shady. I don't like it. Burn 60 Minutes. Because they did it on this live feed, guys. I had Dana White just doing a little fucking thing, talking about how he feels about the Charlie Kirk situation. It's clearly fucking fair use. It's part of my rundown. It's part of the discussion. And it's like not the whole show at all. Nobody's fucking switching over to 60 Minutes. Oh, gee, thanks, Alex. Now I don't have to watch 60 Minutes. Said no one that ever watches my show. So please stop tagging my shit, man. I have to show your dumb fucking interviews every once in a while. That said, there was a lot in the pre-intro of Trump and Netanyahu's really weird conspiracy where they think that they're gonna fucking solve the Middle East. There were some fun catchwords and stuff, but let's read the breakdown on this. Trump and Netanyahu hold White House press conference on Middle East. Following their meeting, President Trump and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the press. They announced the joint effort to broker a ceasefire in Gaza, but offered few concrete details. The meeting occurred as tensions with Hezbollah and Lebanon continue to simmer. Okay, so here's the thing with this fucking whole deal. If you were watching that with me, Netanyahu came out there. They created like some like fake peace orgy with some Arab people where they're gonna not have the IDF. They're gonna have this like peace orgy instead. And the person that's in charge of the peace orgy is Donald Trump. And guess who announced that they were in charge of the peace orgy? Donald Trump. So he was trying to be humble about it. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to do this." And like Netanyahu's like, "Yeah, I'm so thankful you're doing this. We wouldn't be able to have this peace orgy without you." And then at the end of the meeting, they were like, "All this is ready to go. And we'll pull out our military as you pull out your military, 1 for 1 or whatever. But we're gonna do all of this if Hamas agrees. Everybody else has agreed. Hamas hasn't agreed." Okay, isn't there just two parties in this situation? There's Hamas and then there's Israel. Why come out and like announce a plan and you'd be like, "Oh, we figured it out with everyone"? Who's everyone? Yourself? Your own allies? Cool, great, awesome. That's called a plan. You don't need to tell us your plan. You need to tell Hamas the plan. You ask them if that plan works for them. And they probably said no. Hamas was probably like, "No, we're not going to do that plan." And then as soon as Hamas was like, "No, we're not going to do that plan," then Trump was like, "You know what? Let's read the plan out loud anyway. Let's show them what a peace orgy with Arabs would be like anyway." They're going to find out. Like, swear to God, Donald Trump thinks that like when he fucking is done, he's just going to like go and become the next prime minister of Israel, and Israel's going to be like the whole Middle East, and it's going to be like a golf course with like fucking Arab fucking ladies like driving around all white like police officers or some shit. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. We're far from solving the Middle East. They keep trying to fake it out like they're solving the fucking Middle East. They're not solving the fucking Middle East. They haven't solved the fucking Middle East. They're never going to solve the Middle East. The Middle East is the Middle East. But you know what you can do? You can go and watch comedy in the Middle East with Louie C.K. Mr. Louie C.K. Comedy in the Middle East. Okay. Markets drop sharply as shutdown becomes reality. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell over 400 points as Wall Street reacted to the certainty of a government shutdown. Economics are now warning of significant economic consequences if the shutdown lasts more than a few days. Oh, no. Bullshit. I call bullshit. I call this thing can last up to 7 weeks and not a goddamn thing is going to happen because they were ready to sign a clean CR for 7 weeks to extend the government. And that means that they think it was only going to take them 7 weeks to find a negotiation. Chuck Schumer cannot do the CR or he gets canceled by all the Gen Zers in New York and fucking AOC and stuff. So he can't do that. So he's like, "I got to shut down the government. You guys are going to blame me. I'm going to blame you. I don't really have an excuse. We're going to get to work. We already thought we were going to come to a negotiation about this shit in the next 7 weeks anyway. So this is just going to like hustle us up to like do it in a week or so." That's what I think. Unless there's some kind of shitstorm that nobody's aware of, I think everyone's going to drag their fucking feet on this government shutdown, use it for their leverage, and eventually they will come to a resolution where when you look at the fucking fine print, we don't win at all. They win everything. They get more checks, they get more money, we get nothing. That's what happens every time. They're like, have you ever like been like, "Oh, the government shut down," and then they're like, "Oh yeah," and then when the government reopened, like, how did that happen? And they're like, "Oh, well, they negotiated for the government to reopen." "Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, so what do we get?" "Oh, well, we don't get anything, but they got a lot." Because a negotiation means you get things. So the people in the negotiation got a lot. Let's just put it that way. They get a lot of stuff. They got a lot of lots. And oh no, the stock market's gonna fucking crash. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The world is fake. The fucking stock market's fake. Is that illegal? Are you illegally? Am I being illegal by saying the stock market's fake? This show is sponsored by DraftKings. Fucking take a bet Is it all fake? Is the world fake? Yes. The world is fucking fake. Why didn't they do DraftKings on the fucking... They were doing that like thing on South Park, and it was a decent episode of South Park, but it was just kind of fucking missed. Like, it was like, why are we going Jewy Israel shit? Like, what are we, Candace Owensing, the fucking Charlie Kirk situation? That lady's off the rocker. She has gone full cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. But so has Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's like, I will take the power. He's like paid as much money as he possibly could to like an 18-year-old to fly in a private jet and just become the next Charlie Kirk, like a Manchurian candidate. It's fucking crazy. But then you got Candace Owens over here being even fucking crazier. She's just like, what if fucking the Kazakhstans did it? In a conspiracy with the Ecuadorians to silence the Nazis that now live in Argentina. Huh? What if? I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying they might have. I don't care what you guys say. Candace Owens is hot as fuck, though, still. So she's doing something right. She's doing something right. She's eating something right. I don't know what she's eating right, but she looks beautiful. Gorgeous. Met that person in real life and be like, what? I don't know how Nick Fuentes walked away from it. How you walk away from it? He was just like she even got that flirt move with him in that interview. She was like, he's like, nah, bitch. Bye. So, whoa. The great resignation persists, new data shows. A new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the great resignation trend is continuing, with quit rates remaining high. Analysts suggest a widespread dissatisfaction with traditional work and a lack of trust in corporate structures are contributing factors, mirroring broader themes of industrial distrust. I don't know. Sounds kind of right. I'm currently doing a podcast as work. That's what I'm doing. A live show on a YouTube, on a Rumble for work. That's what I'm doing in reality. So there's got to be something to that whole everyone's quitting industrial work. I'll tell you what, I couldn't handle the culture. Just the culture of like fucking an office or life in general with people telling you what to do. There's always somebody dumber than you constantly telling you what to do. And then they're telling you what to do. And what they're telling you to do is just nonsense. Like, here, can you take this fucking piece of plastic and walk over to that wall and then just hit yourself in the head a few times? We'll give you $100 a day. And everybody's like, okay. That's the fucking problem. The industrial work makes no sense. It's literally horrible management where you could be doing the task for 2 hours, getting paid for 8 hours, but instead we have to draw the hours out to 8 because it should only be fucking, $12 an hour. So now I have to have a negotiation with my own conscience where I go, well, at $12 an hour, do I tell them that I can do everything the entire day in an hour and a half? Or I just drag my fucking feet so that I can get more money here. And then I do a second job so that I'm making more than $12 an hour. $12 an hour, exaggeration. I would say like $20 an hour, but still not enough. Not enough. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I could do this entire job but you would only pay me $45 and it'd be done in 2 hours. Or I can be like, this job takes all day, every day. And you're like, okay, you just stay busy then. And then I do other work while I'm at work, making more money while making money on you, because we can't just live in reality where you just go, I'll give you $300 and you do this fucking task the right way. The end. What's so fucking hard about that? I'll give you $300 and you do this task the right way. Don't do it the wrong way. Don't do it like an idiot. Just do this one task the right way, and I give you the money. That's where I think we should just go. We go back to bartering system. Just give me a few fucking oranges, and I'll clean your car. That's where we need to go. in life. It's where life needs to go. There's not much left to say on this shit, man. That movie was not doing well. 22 million. I really feel like that LA and New York showed up because in the real American world, we would all show up for that movie. We'd be like, whoa, Paul Thomas Anderson is going to show us all about immigration and fucking awesome shit. And it wouldn't be like woke or anything. We'd all just be like, this is awesome. He's showing us about the culture. But instead, we're like living in this world where we're like, everyone that's involved in that movie just like hid the fact that they saw an assassination because they were worried about how it would look. Well, it looked bad to hide from the assassination. Looked pretty fucking bad. And so I don't really have an interest in watching your dumbass movies. Weapons was solid though. Weapons was solid. I was scared that was going to be a whole thing. He duped me. He duped you too. He was like, "Oh yeah, the fucking kids disappeared in a classroom and there's guns in it. Like it's a school shooting movie, and it's not. It's not at all. They left that premise at the fucking door. It's really funny that they like kind of brought it. They just did it on purpose almost. But no chats. So many watchers. So many fucking peepers and tommers. None of you want to fucking talk to me. None of you want to say shit. None of you want to be like, hey, I got something to say. Louie C.K. is a sellout and fucking Shane Gillis is awesome. Or Shane Gillis isn't awesome and Louie C.K. is. Wait, was that the same thing? I don't know. I saw both of these comedians this month, motherfucker. I saw Louie C.K. at Austin City Limits live. And that was amazing. No merch, man. Last time I saw him, though, in Jersey right before the pandemic on his comeback tour, which was supposed to be a world tour. And then when COVID immediately happened after that event. And so I framed it because that was the only tour date he actually did. And so then he came back here right now. And so I saw him this time. And that was, God, that was brilliant. He like ended with this whole thing about like, Barely Legal magazine and being like a guy with Barely Legal magazine and shit. And then he also, so the thing is that Charlie Kirk happened days before I saw him. And I was interested in going and seeing Louie C.K. and Shane Gillis for that matter, both to kind of just heal my soul because I knew these people would at least have a moral compass and want to, you know, clear the air of the room. They're aware of human behavior. They're aware that we're all coming in wanting laughs after feeling sad. They all know that there's like a 9/11-ish air in the room. So his opener actually came, Louis C.K.'s opener actually came out and was like, yeah, so just scrolling through Instagram, saw a guy fucking just get killed in the middle of the day, Wednesday. And it's like, go to sleep, wake up the next day, 9/11. Awesome, cool, which Mark Norman did like a better, more professional style version of that same joke. But that was like the kid that was opening for him. That was a really easy, simple way to kind of break the ice with the audience on it. And then when Louie came out and was like, I'm going to preach to you all tonight. I'm going to teach you about Jesus. like nobody was laughing at first, and he's like, I'm fucking with you guys. Wouldn't that be crazy if I went out and do that? Like, even if you are super religious, and yeah, it is Sunday, but like me, Louis C.K., like, what, you want me to do that? No, you don't want me to do that. And it kind of broke the ice again. And like being like, okay, yeah, he's not going to do some kumbaya thing for us. He's just going to come up and do a set. But he also was aware of it. There's another week or so that went by with when I went to go see Shane Gillis, and I'm trying to think of what Shane Gillis, Jimmy Kimmel had not happened yet by that Friday. No Kimmel yet. Or there was Kimmel, but Kimmel wasn't aware on their podcast. They did make a joke on their podcast about like my love or whatever because of like the note, I guess, from like the shooter was my love, but they didn't really say much. And then they didn't say anything at the show, but, you know, Shane Gillis said it all with what he said. Oh, comedy's free again. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, he kind of has to sit it out. They're telling him to sit it out. I feel like if he wanted it, like him and Matt even said that they sat there and they did a whole episode where they thought that they were like saying all this guided wisdom or whatever, and then they just shut it out because they're like, it's very divisive. It's hard. You have to navigate every word almost of it, unfortunately. And that's why it became the way that it became. Such a touchy subject. LeMaire opened up for Shane Gillis. I saw Shane Gillis at Toyota Center in Houston. So that was huge. And LeMaire opened up for him and was decent. But then there was this lesbian lady. And man, she fucking tore it up. She was so amazing. She was so funny. And I mean, Shane was solid too. I can't even remember any of his jokes though. Anything he was really saying. Sorry, bud. I've seen Shane Gillis 3 times now. I feel like Fish, my uncle like followed Fish when he was younger, like toured with them and everything. Like went to like 200 dates and like just dropped acid and just like went around America, like just following Fish for a while, which I guess is what people do that are like, you know, Gen Xers. But for me, it was just seeing Shane Gillis through the evolution of Shane Gillis. So like Shane Gillis gets canceled from SNL. That weekend, I saw him at the Cellar in New York. And then I did a sketch for New York Sketch Fest in which I played Shane Gillis live on stage during like a fake SNL that gets canceled. And that's in the 5th season of The Egos, which is The Egos Get Canceled, which is on Tubi, Plex, other providers, I think. But if you search The Egos Get Canceled, you can see that whole movie, and it ends with us doing like a whole bit on the guy that got canceled from SNL for Shane Gillis. Then during the pandemic the next year, Shane Gillis was touring, and I saw him in a strip mall, Side Splitters in Tampa Bay, and that was fucking hilarious. That was probably 30 seats. So I saw him in the Cellar, 15, 20 people, and then I saw him there, probably 45 people were now like kind of following him. It was more the same jokes, still the Fox News dad stuff, the Austin comedy special stuff, and then the next time I saw Shane Gillis was at a college amphitheater for the Beautiful Dogs, that whole thing, that whole saga, and that was, you know, college amphitheater, 500 plus, 600 plus people. And then it was awesome to kind of like see the final evolution of all of that. The Toyota Center, solid center stage, like middle seats. Oh, great fucking time, honestly. And pretty fucking awesome to see somebody that like got canceled right around the same time that shit hit the fan for me and a lot of other people, because like, we all didn't have something that big, and that's because, like, to be honest, I was never I never fought that hard to get to an audition for SNL. But it kind of broke a lot of dreams for a while for a lot of people when they saw that happen to him. Seeing the Cam Patterson's kind of a bonus to seeing it kind of evolve back. But there is a lost era of creators, I feel like, out there. Mostly because they were kind of iced out. If I'm not able to get it, like, so I had a deal with Funny or Die, but then Funny or Die is LA, and they're LA and Valley based. So they're not giving me bonuses for my sketches. They're giving the LA people bonuses for their sketches. And I was the #1 sketch group in New York on their website. Their website folds because they're not paying the New York side of it. They're only paying the LA side of it. They're only paying for their voices. And then my only options are to like start doing like right-wing comedy, like to start doing like, you know, some fucking Gutfeld style jokes. And so then I just did it myself. and you just try to keep, and then it's like you're finding it here and then you're selling it there. And, you know, we got our movie providers for most of those sketch films. Do I wish that I could have seen more success somewhere along the way? And do I think that I would have had I picked a side or picked a lane in this whole fucking thing? Yeah, sure. But I'm still kind of good where I'm at, honestly, if I'm being honest. Like, I need to get Rain in the Florida Sunshine out and available for all of you to see, because that's going to be an awesome movie. A movie about a millennial that he gets broken up with, moves back in with his parents, and it's the summer that NCAA football comes back out, and it's full of, like, you know, Y2K, you know, millennial style referencing inside of a coming of age story that's like what I call the second coming of age story. A coming of age story of like a 30-year-old guy. Ugh, that coming out, man, that's gonna be good. This year we put out 2 movies. I put out 2 movies. The Holidays movie, and Manhattan Holidays. Both of those are gonna be selling again. Right now, Halloween movies you can watch of mine. You got basically a live action version of Treehouse of Horror by The Simpsons, the live action version of that, sketch wise, and that's called Zombies in the Antique Shop. That's available like everywhere pretty much. Christmas wise, you got Christmas in Florida, obviously, but also for horror, you have the worst movie of the entire pandemic. Literally the worst film of the entire pandemic, 2.4 on IMDb, over 3,000 votes. So go vote it up if you think the movie's better. But Light from the Tower, which was my depiction of safety on set, Alec Baldwin style events, all that bullshit, wrapped into a, you know, psychological metaphor movie. Didn't really do what I wanted it to do. It did do it. It blew up. It kind of sucks. It's the biggest audience I've ever had as for a movie. It's available on Amazon Prime. But Light from the Tower, that's a tough pill to swallow, because I was never able to go to festivals or go live out with it. So I was never able to advocate for the movie or say like what it was, that it was like a safety on set metaphor. It was like Alec Baldwin kind of thing. Like, you don't want to fucking shoot somebody on set. But instead, it was just like, people are like, what is this garbage fucking student film? And I'm like, it's supposed to be a student film. They're making a student film. It's like a mockumentary, but like not, like sort of, but really it is. Damn it. I missed hard on that one. The one I didn't miss hard on, though, that I feel like is still getting a little hate just because it's got some fucking liberal hate, is Christmas in Florida. Go watch Christmas in Florida, rated on IMDb. Christmas in Florida, it's a movie about that starts on Thanksgiving Day of 2020 during the pandemic, and it goes all the way through January 6th. And we travel from Manhattan to Florida and through DC and Key West, all in the movie Christmas in Florida. It's pretty fucking miraculous. It's one of my favorite films I've ever done. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do here. I kind of want to do a holiday movie in fucking Austin. I got to get my fucking financial situation all taken care of. More people quitting. Yeah, we're all quitting because we don't want these shitty jobs. We just want somebody to give us some money to do something creative. Give me some money. Stop watching my show and give me money. Be a patron. Patronize my fucking asshole with money so that I can go make movies for you guys. If somebody would give me like $3,000 or $4,000 a month, I would be making at least a feature film a month. Be pretty baller. Some fucking independent, you know, semi-right leaning, semi-reality. Like basically like Gillian Keeves, but like fucking for real. The biggest one, the last one was Barbenheimer and the Cult of Walt Disney was what it was called. You can look that one up. That's on Tubi and Plex. Also, The Egos in a Hurricane, which is a entire hurricane-related sketch comedy special. Hour and a half hurricane comedy special. Woo! It's been a night, everybody. It's been a night. let me government shutdown, Hollywood, this movie. I got to go see this movie. I do want to see it. I think it's going to be probably good. But again, like I kind of don't want to give anybody involved with the movie money. That's the problem. Gotta hold your money tight when you don't have a lot of money. When there's not a lot of money to go around, you don't really want to go around giving it to Leo and company. So that's kind of why this is happening. Well, I'll give it to Shane Gillis though. I gave equal money to Shane Gillis and to Louie C.K. And Louie C.K. took my money and fucking flew over to Saudi Arabia with it. That's what he did. He's like, you know what I'm going to do, Alex? I'm going to take your money from Austin. I'm going to not even sell t-shirts or hats or anything here. I'm going to, goodbye. See you later. No memorabilia for you. You can't even remember this night. You just got to remember my jokes. And I'm going to go to Saudi Arabia. I can't. I want that conversation to be a podcast. Can Joe Rogan set up Louie C.K. versus Shane Gillis on Joe Rogan about the Saudi Arabia festival after it's done? Once the Saudi festival's done, once they have their fun and Louie's back in time, because he's going with Jimmy Carr too. Like they're doing their side together. That's a Jimmy Carr Louie C.K. exclusive. But after they're done with all of that and they come back, Shane Gillis sits down with Louie C.K. one-on-one, moderator, Joe Rogan. Why the fuck did you go to goddamn Saudi Arabia and do comedy? Better yet, just have Shane Gillis there debating everybody. No, Shane, he don't even want to debate anybody. He can be the moderator. Have Mark Maron or whatever the fuck his name is, have that doofus debate these guys, and they all have to get off the plane from Saudi, and they have to debate Mark Maron, and Shane Gillis is there being like, you guys fucking suck. You have to debate Mark Maron. That's what you have to fucking do. That's suffering. That's pain. That's how you get back at these people for being 9/11 apologists. All these 9/11 apologists, man. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of all the 9/11 apologists. If there were three things I hate in the world, it's 1, 9/11 apologists, 2, 9/11 apologists, 3, Pop-Tarts. Only the fucking crust. The crust on the Pop-Tarts, it's not right. It's not right. I think that the government should shut down tomorrow. I hope that I can do a live show where we just celebrate the government shutting down. I hope that every episode that I do every day after that is the government going further in a shutdown. Because if that happens, that means there's going to be more people like you watching me sit here with a microphone, being a doofus, getting paid, while you go, oh my God, what? The government? Is the government going to actually shut down? Are we going to really shut down the government? Yeah. Yeah, man. We're going to really shut down the government. We're going to shut it down for good. We're going to fire every last person. And then the rapture's going to happen. That's how much I believe in the government fully being shut down forever. Now, the S&P 500 and this like nonsense on Wall Street, like that's going to be some like fun pressure on them. Oh my God, look at that, guys. Everybody's mad. They're losing their money. Who? Oh, us? Yeah, we're losing our money. Oh no, the government shut down. We're losing our money. Oh no. Clutching their pearls. Oh no. I only have $300 million left. Oh no. I only am making $250,000 this year. Oh no. These people, they don't even work. They don't even work for a living. They just sit there. Isn't it weird that you can just be like a social media fucking influencer and now you're all of a sudden making laws? You don't have to go to law school to become a lawmaker. It's like, I'm running for Congress. They're like, oh, so you want to be a lawmaker? You could literally be like so dumb as to be like, what's that? I don't know what a lawmaker is. I'm just running for the Senate. And they let you do it. They let you do it. They also let you be a judge without being a judge. That's fun. That's fun. Well, not. I mean, well, you're judge without being a judge. Somebody should look that up. Are they giving that one out now? Are you allowed to be a judge without being a judge? Are you allowed to judge people for not judging, or do you have to judge the ones that judge you? Who believes in the rapture? I gotta know. I gotta know right now. Shane Gillis, Louie C.K. You can only take one to the rapture with you. Who do you take and why? And if you don't take either, what lady are you taking instead? People my age used to say they want to be with Jennifer Love Hewitt for the rest of their life. Jennifer Love Hewitt was like the thing. But like I had a different one. It was the younger like Jennifer Love Hewitt. Her name was Lucy something. What was her name? It was the Jennifer Love Hewitt fucking make-believe lady that was also on Superbad. Lucy Superbad. I think it's like Chambers. Is it Chambers? Lucy Chambers? Is that it? Lucy Chambers. No, that's not it. Who the fuck's Lucy Chambers? British North actress. That's not her. Where the fuck is this lady? Lacey Chabert? Is that it? Wait, is that it? That's her. That's her. Is this fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt wannabe lady? Her name, Lacey Chabert. Lacey Chabert. She's married in 2003. 42 years old. All right, so she was older than me anyway, so that's still good. But like, yeah, she was in Mean Girls, Lost in Space, Party of Five. Yeah, that's where I got her from. Party of Five. Party of Five and Anastasia. Woo! She was Anastasia in Anastasia, the movie. And then Party of Five as a kid, man. Yo. Lacey. Yo. What will happen first? Shane Gillis performs at the Saudi festival, or the government doesn't shut down?